Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today I'm continuing my Disney movie marathon by doing another one of these videos again. So for this video, it's going to be something in regards to the church, of course, because they seem to have a bone to pick with Disney again. So it's specifically in regards of the very first Frozen film, which became one of the highest grossing films of the year. And yes, of course, the LGBT community and the Frozen film. Yep, you heard me right. Yep, that's where this video is heading at, and it's gonna be more specifically in regards to this guy. And I tried looking him up. It just comes out like he's supposed to be this like Christian film critic or whatever, and he seems to have something to say about the first Frozen film. Since this article that he did was actually published in 2014, when a year after the first Frozen film. The first Frozen film is and always has been one of my top favorite Disney films ever, and it should remain there, of course. But anyway, point being, he's trying to basically state that everybody in the world seems to enjoy Frozen except himself, and he's not a fan or whatever. But he seems to go on and say that there's parts of it he likes and there's parts he didn't like. Because of certain elements that he found disappointing or off-putting. Okay, what do you mean by off-putting? Well, it's kind of stupid. He says he went on to say those things that he enjoyed and didn't, of course, and also, of course, very frustrated by certain things, and it kept him from embracing it. So he's basically went on to say that it's not very Christian at all, which is kind of odd, but whatever. I don't know why a certain Disney film has to be Christian, but okay. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't have to. But anyway, he said he has very, point being is that he has very mixed feelings about this kind of a thing. So yeah, that's what seems to be bugging him about this. It's not exactly in the way he had pictured it in his head. Which also seems kind of odd because it's not like he directed it. So, yeah, he said that he's not surprised by this kind of a thing. And, yeah, it would be off putting for Christian fans, as if they imply that you can't be gay and Christian at the same time. Which, of course, is ridiculous, obviously. And it's something he wanted to do, wanting to question when it comes to the gay culture in Frozen. First of all, there aren't any gay themes in Frozen. That doesn't even exist in film. And within the context of the film, Elsa feels like an outcast because she has all these powers. It's not because she's gay herself. That was never indicated at all. But that's definitely one of the things he brought up. You know, with Elsa's powers, her Isaac's powers, of course, is noticeable different from other people. So, is she born that way or is it a curse? This in itself does not mean she's a homosexual. And if you remember the one scene where the Troll King confessed to the parents that she actually has these powers, she was actually born with this kind of a thing or whatever. He, of course, takes this out of context and claims that she's in fact a lesbian, and all Disney is trying to do is just trying to normalize it, of course, which of course is ridiculous. Okay, first of all, the film never indicated her being a certain way. And second of all, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a lesbian. Just because a lesbian is perfectly fine the way she is, does not mean that's the film is what. That doesn't mean that that's what the film is talking about. Also, that one scene where she was told to hide her powers somehow is a way of displaying her so-called true nature, which leads to isolation, being anxious, and finally having a meltdown, of course, but at which she inadvertently outs herself out, revealing that she has all these ice powers to be seen. Somehow, the fact that seriously, somehow the fact that she has all these ice powers is an indication that she's a lesbian. How does that even equal to that is beyond me. None of his explanation that he did makes any sense at all. Not a single bit of it. Yeah, once it was revealed that she does have all these powers, of course, people of society are scared of her and she still wants to remain herself. So what she does, she leaves that palace and trying to create her own castle or whatever, of course, before eventually being captured again, of course, and even at that point she does feel rather scared, obviously. But of course, he doesn't judge the film with its own context, but the thing is that he wants to put his own context within the film itself because apparently she's scared to be herself because deep down she likes other women. But again, the film was never indicating that at all. It was not once ever indicating such a thing. And yes, of course, he wants to use that one song, Let It Go, as a way to express that that song alone is supposedly confirming that she's a lesbian. Again, that's not what the film is trying to indicate here. The song is trying to show that she wants to be fully herself, that she doesn't have to hold back anymore, like she was basically doing until that point of the story. Ugh. And why do I have to explain this, really? Well, anyway. Alright, I'm gonna bring up Star Wars, specifically this one character from Star Wars, of course, because that's what I do when it comes to these videos. I always end it with Star Wars in one way or another. At the end, of course. But anyway, EA had dropped this little CGI short for Star Wars, and that's the thing. It happened recently and gave a pretty decent look at this new character with the franchise as it slowly opens itself for these kinds of characters and whatnot, which in a way is actually pretty cool. I never liked EA really, like at all, which is a company I complained about before, but okay, it's not really about that really. But this, of course, is going to cause some controversy because having homosexual characters in a Star Wars film bothers people, of course. A lot of people had complained that Star Wars has already became too political with its storylines, which is ridiculous because when you think about it, Star Wars has always been political. But anyway, as I was saying, this was going to be done and it was officially released in a database that this character had married to another man, of course. And yes, he does have a full backstory, of course, a full description of all that, which is great, of course. So, yeah, of course, it's supposed to be for a game or something. So, I guess they're just trying to give this character some sort of relatability to some degree, which is fine. That doesn't have to be a bad thing. But obviously, a lot of people will be upset about this because a lot of people will believe that this is like a personal attack because, oh no, they're putting the LGBT and everything. And I have not watched that short, and most likely, I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually play any other Star Wars games in the near future, so I don't know how this whole narrative of this character is gonna play out exactly, so I can't really give a full opinion on that character at the moment. But the fact that what I can tell you that I know people can be upset about this. Of all things, like really, of all things. Uh, oh boy, just I don't know anymore. I really don't know anymore. So I appreciate anybody's watching this. I guess that's gonna be like a small rant video, which I know I've been doing quite a few of these for a good while, really. I mean, I'd made rant videos before, but I seem to making more and more and more as of late. Oh boy. Anyway, of course, as usual, thanks for watching, and take care. Till next time. See ya. Oh, yeah.